Appointed time for Othman Danfodio's dream is right now. Opinion. The then Sultan of Sokoto has said that he saw his offsprings in years to come being requested to obtain visa permits before entering the southern part of the country. The Hausa Fulani has no ideas, no ambitions, save such as sensual in character. He is a fatalist, spendthrift, and a gambler. He is gravely immoral and is seriously diseased that he is a menace to any community to which he seeks to attach himself. This is from Lord Lugard in a letter to his colleague Walter H. Lang on September 25, 1918. Now, under the circumstances of what has been happening in Plateau State, some people just have to die. Any society that refuses to be just and fair shall become a jungle where only jungle justice shall operate. Indeed, majority of our killings were carried out in areas where there was strong government presence. Malam Saleh Bayero, Fulani leader and secretary Sultan's Farmer Cattle Rearers Conflict Committee, boasting as he justified the massacre of the Birom people while protesting the arrest of the Fulani murderers in Plateau State of Nigeria, quoted in the Sun News of Friday, March 12, 2010. Sometime towards the middle of the second decade of the 1815 AD or thereabout, Othman Danfodio was reported to have had a scary dream about his sultanate empire that he had just built. This dream was said to have saddened him that the empire he had spilled so much blood to build would only lasted 200 years. As a courageous warrior that he was, Danfodio was reported to have summoned the will and interpreted the dream to make this prediction about the future of his empire. According to informed sources as reported by Adewale Adeoye in The Nation of March 14, 2010, this fear of the realization of Danfodio's dream was what informed the hurried movement of the capital of Nigeria from Lagos to Abuja. The report said inter alia, the source hinted that in the 1970s, northern leaders of Fulani extraction had met and resolved that the capital of Nigeria be moved from Lagos to Abuja. In anticipation of the prophecy of late Othman Danfodio, he said the meeting was prepared by the dream the then Sultan of Sokoto had that he saw his offsprings in years to come being requested to obtain visa permits before entering the southern part of the country. There are a number of deductions that could be made from the above. 1. That the entire Nigeria was and is still regarded as part of the Sultanate Empire of Othman Danfodio. 2. That this is why the Fulani have been exuding this arrogant attitude, permeated with the born-to-rule mentality. 3. That this is why they have always ruled Nigeria as if we are in the Middle Ages, and consider the wealth of Nigeria as theirs to dispense as they deem fit. 3 or 4. That the recent liberation struggles in Birom, Niger Delta, and the rest of the south, west or east is being seen as the beginning of the end of the Sultanate Empire by the Fulani people. And 5th, that the Fulani people have been scheming and preparing to get ready for when they would leave or be chased out of Nigeria. It is this writer's view that there is nothing wrong if the Fulani have to pull out of Nigeria to sustain and maintain the remnant of their Sultanate Empire. It will definitely serve all concerned very well. But this writer is not convinced that the Fulani will let go very easily. Regardless of their palpitation about the dreams of Othman Danfodio, they are going to fight hard. Anyone familiar with their trickery and how they subdued all the fledgling Hausa states, one after the other, using Hausa masses against their kings, would agree with this writer. To this extent, I disagree with Loluga that the Fulani, let us leave the Hausa ethnic nationality out for now, has no ambition. The Fulani has ambitions, and great ones at that. The Fulani ambition is to always rule others, whether they, Fulani, have the capacity to do so or not. The Fulani lacked and still lacks his empires. At least that of Othman Danfodio had been in place before Lolugard was ever born. It is this inherent ambition that forced the Fulani to develop the methodology to use religion to mobilize the Hausa critical masses against their own Hausa rulers and replace them with blue-blooded turban-carrying Fulani rulers as emirs across what used to be Hausa kingdoms. As time goes on, the Fulani sought ways to modernize its means of extending the frontiers of the Sultanate and refined its tool that was used against the Hausa kingdoms in preparation for the conquest of the ethnic nationalities in Nigeria. What the Fulani came up with was a different brand of what they did to the Hausa kings and empires. The Fulani concluded that because of cultural and religious factors, it would not be easy to use the critical mass of other ethnic nationalities in Nigeria to be able to supplant the leaders of these ethnic nationalities. So the Fulani, to sustain its ambition to rule and dominate, cultivated corrupt satellites in every ethnic nationality in Nigeria while politically annihilating the true leaders of other ethnic nationalities. In 1957, during the heated battles for self-government and independence, Ahmadu Bello referred to Nigeria as the mistake of 1914. To correct this mistake, a meticulous plan to dominate the future Nigerian armed forces was surreptitiously embarked upon, while the British was helping out on the political front, manufacturing parliamentary seats for the north against the south of Nigeria. Thus, barely 6 months after independence, Ahmadu Bello was able to say with confidence in the Daily Times of May 3, 1961, the following: "I am set and fully armed to conquer the Action Group, AG, in the same ruthless manner as my grandfather conquered Al-Kalawa, a town in Sokoto province, during the last century." The writer would like readers to pay due attention to the words used by Bello in this quote. He used the word conquer, not negotiate. Ahmadu Bello executed this desired conquest of the West, and as he had planned, though it backfired temporarily as it consumed him a number of years later. But the Fulani centuries in the Caliphate armed forces, euphemized as the Nigerian Army Forces or Armed Forces, along with its surviving civilian wing, have adopted Sir Ahmadu Bello's method of propping up political, economic, and religious satellites in all ethnic nationalities in Nigeria to be able to maintain control from Abuja, Sokoto, and Ogobir, the birthplace of Othman Danfodio. It would be alright if the Fulani could live with others, as others are willing and prepared to live with them in Nigeria and other parts of West Africa, at least. In Nigeria, there has been more than 100 years of evidence that various ethnic nationalities have accommodated, loved, respected, and cared for the Fulani in their midst. There are abundant evidence that the Fulani have been treated as fellow human beings and accorded the same rights that the hosts have always enjoyed. But it is very unfortunate that the Fulani has not had the same live and let live approach to other ethnic nationalities in Nigeria. The Fulani concept of living is that others have to die so that the Fulani may live. As far as the Fulani are concerned, other peoples of other ethnic nationalities are second-rate slaves to be used, dumped, maimed, raped, or killed for the good of the Fulani man. Yes, this article is to be continued.